So what is zero-party data? Now, I have to preface this by saying I'm not a lawyer and you don't want to use this video as your reference point for any sort of legal matters. But zero-party data is something that we have a lot of experience with here at Interact because for the last 10 years, we've been helping brands gather zero-party data. And honestly, all it really means is data that people are actively giving you because they want you to have it. Now, let me say that again really quickly. It's data that people give you, the company, or if you are a solopreneur, you're working for yourself, data that people are giving you because they want you to have it. Now, why would somebody want you to have their data? Especially in this day and age where everything's all about ask this app not to track, blah, blah, blah. The reason why someone would want you to have their data is so that you can offer them personalized recommendations based on the things that they're telling you. So for example, in skincare, which we work with a lot of skincare brands, someone might want to know what their skin type is and which products would best match their skin type. Now, in order to do that, you are going to need to know some things about them, like what type of skin they actually have. And you might also need to know what their budget is. So in order for you to do that transaction of them getting to know what products would actually match their skin type, they would then need to give you their information. And within a quiz, which is one of the ways of gathering zero-party data, there is an explicit declaration of, yes, I want to give this data to the brand. And again, you have to check with your legal team to make sure that that explicit declaration is clear enough and follows your privacy standards in terms of use. But because they are wanting to know which products will match their skin type, and they also want you to be able to then personalize everything else about their experience from that point forward, they are giving you their data. Now, zero-party data can also be called declared data. That's another word for it. It means the same thing. And really all it is information that people are actively, willingly choosing to give you so that you can personalize their experience and offer up recommendations based on the information that they're giving you. Now, it's extremely powerful, and some of the quick stats that we have over at Interact is that 40% of people who start a quiz end up opting in, which means that they are becoming somebody that's giving you zero-party data, and 67% of people who start a quiz finish the quiz. So super powerful way of gathering information. But gathering is not even the right word for it because you're not going out and taking it, right, without somebody knowing. It's a known entity. It's a known entity in the sense that somebody knows they are giving you their information. It's very explicit, and that is one of the key differences with zero-party data is that it's explicit. It's known that they are giving you their information. They know, and then they also have the right to then take that information back. And that's, again, something that is case by case with the company, and it's not something we can advise on. But because they're giving it to you, then it is zero-party. And from our perspective, having been doing this for a really long time, like I said, 10 years, it's not just about the difference in the data, it's also about the relationship. Because when somebody is giving you information, that's a very different beginning of a relationship than you sending them something based on information that you gathered from another source, right? So if you were to walk into a store and they're like, oh, here's our picks for you, we already know you're gonna like this, you're gonna be a little thrown off, which, let's be real, that's how so much of the internet works right now. You go to a site or whatever and it's like, here, these are your picks. And you're like, based on what? I don't know you. Versus if you go through a quiz experience or a product recommender and you're stating your preferences, you're saying which areas you might want help with a product or a service, and then somebody's like, hey, you know, we chose these coffee beans for you based on your taste profile. Or if you're over on the online, you know, course content industry, it's like, hey, we think we have some recommendations for you, some practices to put into place, some meditations to try if you're in that space. Now it's a much more mutual interaction, and I think that's why zero-party data has gotten so popular, is that it really unlocks all these other psychological things that allow somebody to feel connected to a brand and feel like they're actually engaging with the experience of, you know, connecting with that company and potentially making a purchase down the line. And it's all very active rather than passive. So that's a key difference. But again, zero-party data means data that people are actively, willingly choosing to give you. They know that they're giving you that data, and in most cases, where I would say as a general rule, they can also take that data back whenever they would choose to. Again, not a legal professional, so do not take this as anything that you can reference for the purposes of legal things, but that is our definition and the generally accepted definition of what zero-party data is. And again, quizzes are amazing for gathering that data and creating an experience where people actually want to tell you about themselves so that you can then offer up a more personalized experience.